Hi everyone, it's Mary and welcome back to my channel. I'm glad to be back. The last time I left you was when I was letting you know that my husband was going to be having knee replacement. I'm happy to report that he had that on June 28th, and now this is the 1st and 2nd of August. And I just want to say that he's doing really, really well. And the first 2 weeks are a little bit on the rough side, but as with any kind of surgery. But he has done very, very well and made very good progress. He's able to mow the lawn, and which I'm happy about. And so he's able to do a few things. He's not able to drive just yet, so I still have to drive him around to his appointments, and he will be having physical therapy until the middle part of this month, which is August. Okay, so enough of the other kind of talk. I'm just going to have kind of like a play with different sprays and inks. And I was watching Gail Augustinelli, how you say her last name. And she did like, interesting sprays and things like that. And I have different inks, and I have different other things that I have, and I'm just going to kind of do a play around. Now, you're probably asking yourself, what kind of paper is this? Well, this is some really old paper, and it's from a scrapbook sort of thing that my husband found for me. It had never been used, and it was from a flea market. So all the pages are kind of like a construction grade paper, so it's kind of has a little bit of a rough texture to it, so it's not smooth or anything. I would imagine you could use whatever kind of paper you want to use, so I'm just gonna try this out. And I don't know if I've ever tried this before. Had I tried it, I wouldn't remember. I'm not terrible, I just don't remember. So I'm just now gradually getting back into making crafts again, and this will be my first video back with you. So let's go ahead, and I will say I'm just working with a general all-purpose sprayer. So you don't have to get anything fancy. If you have something fancy already, then you might as well just forget that. So right now I'm just real curious. I did buy some new ink pads recently. I got these from scrapbook.com. This one's called Charming Pink, and this one's called Warm Breeze, which is more like a kind of a teal color. And then I wanted a white pad, and of course I got this from scrapbook.com, and it looks like it might be really good. It's pigment ink. So as well as these are the same. So anyway, so let's get with it here and see what we can come up with. I'm just using an acrylic stamp pad here. It's nothing fancy, mind you. Oh my goodness, this is a very oh, look at that. That is so saturated. Sometimes you wonder when you buy things from certain companies whether or not it's going to be saturated enough. And yeah, so I'm working on a very small area here, so I don't have a great deal of area to work with. So what she did was she just did that. Kind of sprinkled that all around. Don't know how that's going to do. Didn't really look like it did much of anything, so I'm just gonna kind of help it along here. This might be a little bit wet. Yeah, I don't think that's going to work too well, that particular. I'm just trying out different things because I'm not too sure how these things are going to work, to tell you the truth. And I've not worked with this particular kind of paper, and of course you're going to get a little bit, things a little bit wet here. So hang on just a minute, and I've got to get something to wipe that off with. I think the pigment inks are not going to work that well. Maybe. Okay. I got that off as much as possible. So I am a little bit more curious about... So see, I didn't know that that was not going to work with the pigment inks. So whatever. It doesn't matter to me. I just need to try something different here. So this is Salvage Patina in the Distressed sprays here. Ooh, nice. We got a little bit of this kind of thing going on here. Ooh, that's real bright, isn't it? Okay, so now I want to try a little bit of the Candied Apple. Oh my goodness, is that, ooh, it's going to pump, but it's going to be kind of wild and woolly there. Okay, so let's go with, let's see here. Maybe this one. Oops. Let's see if this will, oh yeah, that's good. Oh yeah, that mixes well with water. I guess you just have to use things that are going to work really well with water. And I probably got that just a little bit too wet right there. I'm thinking probably. And again, I don't know how this paper is going to work too well, so I'm probably wasting some of that ink. This might work better on a different kind of a paper. Sometimes if you don't know how something's going to work, you just kind of have to judge for yourself, you know. It's a little bit of trial and error, you know, or you can just say, well, I tried that and that didn't really work. Let's see what this will... Yeah, so I'm thinking that the pigment inks don't work really well for this, so... Haven't used this too much. This is called Black Soot. And it just kind of looks messy too, doesn't it? Yep, sure does. Maybe I adjust the spray on this, maybe. Yep. So a little bit better. Oh, now that's interesting, isn't it? Ew. Kind of drip, 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 drip this all around. I don't know. I haven't really felt all that inspired to do much of anything today, so... We'll see. Just bear with me, please. Okay, so what works best, I guess, are the, I'm glad I have a white in this. Oops, is that even going to spray? Oh, nuts. Is this not going to spray? Oh my gosh. Ugh. What's going on with this stuff? Oh, it's clogged. That's what's going on here. Well, that's okay. We'll just use the end of it, shall we? Yeah, it's really clogged on that end. That's why it's not spraying. And that's all right. I don't always have to have stuff to spray. Kind of little crazy design here. Oh my goodness. I see that I did not get that fully. Well, we don't know what's going on with that one. That one's just totally weird. Some of these don't really spray that well, so I'm just going to go ahead and do it like this. They tend to be super messy when you spray them. Now, I'm not too sure I like this particular paper using this method with it. But like I said, I just wanted to try it out and see where it went with it, you know. I kind of like the idea. So now I know that pigment ink does not work well with this kind of stuff. It has to be something that's water soluble. And I was just gonna do this anyway, and I told my husband, I said, well, I might as well just make a video too. That way I can at least start updating my videos again. Okay, so there we go. There's that. Let me see here. That one. This is shaded lilac. Oh my, that's very... And again, we're just letting this fall where the drips may go here. And I'm just going to quickly wipe this off though. Actually, I bought this particular ink for another project, so the pigment ink. So, yeah. And let's try some vintage photo here. So I gotta keep it in my mind that. Ew. Oh yeah, won't that be interesting? I guess. You're probably thinking, this looks like a mess. What in the world would you use this for? Well, you know me and my trials and errors of making. I'd start to make something, then I think, oh yes, I'm going to do that. But again, this is just me having a fun play with, you know, inks and things like that. And gosh, I had to do something. I was just been doing a lot of laundry today, you know, it just kind of gets backed up on you. So now I'm gonna take my heat gun or whatever you want to call this thing. I don't know what you call it, but I'm going to dry this now. Handy dandy little, I'm not putting it on high, I'm just going to this is very, very saturated. So I'm going to pause you and I'll come right back to you here in just a few. All right, I'm back. And since last time, I will just say I used some Tattered Rose. And I used some, the Salvage Patina. But then what else did I use? Oh, I used the Spice Marmalade. And I sprayed some more on here. But I was looking for a darker color, and I forgot that I had this Chipped Sapphire. And I'm going to use some Picked Raspberry. So let's see how these spray. Oh, cool. Come on. Ooh. Okay, this, I will say that this, even though I've been trying to dry on it just a little bit, it has stayed very wet and saturated, so I won't be able to do what I want to do here in a moment until it totally dries. Ooh, look at that. I feel like that's almost too much there, so I want to lighten it up a little bit, so I'm just going to use some Tattered Rose on it again. That was just a little bit much, in my humble opinion anyway. See how that kind of brightens that up a little bit when you use the Tattered Rose. Because this is already kind of a dark background. So anyway, I'm going to try to do a little bit more drawing on this. You can see it's just saturated on the back. And that might look sort of interesting, I guess. But I just wanted to give these old papers a try. And it doesn't hurt to, you know, if you find something at a flea market and you think, yeah, I don't have any need for, you know, like an old worn out scrapbook, you know, but if the paper's still good in it, you can still use it for, you know, if you make your junk journals or whatever you happen to make. So I got to do a little bit more drawing here. And I'll get back with you. I don't think you want to watch me dry this the entire time. Hi, okay, I'm back. And I just wanted to show you that I am going to work with another type of scrapbooking paper. And this one is in a little bit better condition, I would say, than the other one. This has a smoother texture to it. A little bit, not too thick. The other one definitely felt like construction paper to me. And now I'm going to see if I can work with this other stuff here. Okay. So, yeah, this stuff is not water reactive here, so water active, whatever you want to call it. So, but I am going to try some of these other ones and see what we can come up with. Definitely want to try some of these colors here. These are from Close to My Heart. And I like the Close to My Heart ones because it has like a magnetic closure on there. It makes it really super nice to work with. Okay. Again, I'm just going to do the same principle here. I'm just going to saturate this, and we're going to have a go at it and see what kind of things we can come up with here. So it's just kind of like a mixed media, but I can't call it a mixed media Monday because it's actually Tuesday. So I don't know what rhymes with Tuesday as far as, I don't know. Don't ask me. Where did my water bottle go? Right here. So I don't know, Technique Tuesday. That's what we can call it, right? Technique Tuesday. That's neat. Kind of a spattery thing there. So get this and wipe it off again. So we'll just call this Technique Tuesday. How about that? So that color was Thistle. Now we're going to use, this one's called Smoothie, and these are kind of like summer colors. And of course, you know, this is August, which I'm finding it almost hard to believe it's already August. It's just been a very busy summer for me and for my husband, of course, and why shouldn't it be? Because he had to have that done, you know, so you got to have stuff done, you just got to have it done. My leg has been feeling better here and there. There's just certain things I can't do anymore. I found that it's hard for me to kneel. And I can kneel a little bit, but I just can't get on the floor and do any kneeling. So that's not an option for me anymore. I used to sit with my leg crossed up underneath me, but I can't do that anymore. So I was just sort of limited. And I kind of miss not being able to do that. Now, no, I did not have any surgery on my knee or anything like that. I just had hurt my leg by stopping myself from falling. And I guess I did just a really good jamming effect to my muscles. And it's been over 2 months now. So, no, I did not go to the doctor. But like I said, it is feeling better. So it's just the muscles. I know I just strained them really bad. And it's just going to take time. You know, what can they do with muscles? You know, they'd say, well, here, take a pill. They'll help you with the pain. But you know, I'm just not really having any what you would call pain right now or anything like that. Just not having any sort of thing like that. Sometimes I have a little bit of discomfort. And that's only if I've been up and around and about. Walking a lot or something like that, then it does tend to bother me. So I feel like this paper is doing a little bit better than the other paper. I have the other paper drying on my other desk over there. So right now I really like how this is turning out. These remind me of flowers, you know, the starts of flowers. What do you want to call it? This is called Carolina Blue, so I'm just going to put a little bit of this on my thing here and see how this goes. So, yeah. Oh, goodness gracious. It was lovely earlier today. Of course, it's been a lovely day anyway, but problem is when the humidity comes, it just really zaps you, you know? And it zaps me, I know. And I prefer to have my windows open, but my husband has been doing a lot of working around out in the yard today. So he's like, well, I got to have the air conditioner on. And I thought, well, okay, you know. But, you know, I do like fall weather, but kind of hate to see the summertime go, you know. I do enjoy the summer if it's not terribly, terribly hot. And in our area, we have not really had a whole lot of rain. We did have a doozy of a storm, though, the other day, and that wasn't bad. I think some people may have lost their power for a while. We lost our internet for a while, but it wasn't due to the storm. It was due to something else. Who knows what it was? But anyway, that's not going to make it too dark, is it? Maybe that one's just not saturated enough. So what do you think so far? I think it looks kind of cool. So, yeah, 2 days a week. All the rest of this month we have physical therapy for my husband. So we've just been busy with that. Yesterday was extremely busy. Oh, sometimes I don't mind it, and other times I just kind of think, yeah, I just want this to settle down, you know. I've kind of forgotten when school starts around here. I used to work in the public schools, and now I just don't even keep track with anything like that anymore. Isn't that awful? I just don't. So, but when I used to work in the public school, I had to kind of keep track of that sort of thing. Oh my goodness, it was pretty. Now I'm just like, ugh, what in the world? That was a darker color, wasn't it? Yeah, the soot. But don't worry, this is not going to be terrible, I don't think. Right now you're like, oh, you just messed it up. But wait, it's not finished yet. I really like how this is just sort of exploding, and it's just kind of going really interesting, you know? That's really, really cool. You know, in the back of my mind, I've been contemplating for a while now if I should start an Etsy shop again. But, you know, I know it's really hard for businesses to get off the ground. I used to have an Etsy shop for about 2.5 years, maybe. And I sold digital images for people to download and use on their greeting cards and things like that. So, yeah. But I think this time around I would like to offer physical items as well. And like I think I all told you this before, that I have a vintage wedding dress that I've cut up, and I would like to be able to offer some of the oh, what do you call it? Can't think now. Some of the lace and trims, you know, for sale for people to use in their junk journals, or, you know, for any other sewing projects they may have. Oh wow, that's really cool. In fact, I really like how this is doing better on this particular paper. It's really cool looking. Like I said, that wasn't too bad, now was it? Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and we're going to clean this part off here. When Gail did her splatter, she kind of worked down inside of looked like a box lid, and I don't have a box lid current to use. So anyway, I really like how the spatters and everything like that have kind of just kind of how it's on here and there, kind of spread off here and there. It's really cool looking, but I've really, really made a mess up underneath there, and I need to, whoo, oh dear, what did we do? Well, I guess we could just kind of let it roll around, kind of go this way and that way. Oh my. I guess we can just let it kind of move around a little bit. It's going to do that anyway. It's just part of the gravity here, and the way that things are wanting to go. Kind of shake it a little bit here and there. Yeah. And I kind of want to dab it just a little bit. Just dab it here and there. Actually, I don't even mind a little bit of runoff like that. That's kind of cool. But I really want to kind of mop up this mess here. This is so saturated. You see how saturated that is? It's just so saturated. I probably should be working with some sort of absorbent material on the back. If you hear any birds in the background, we are now, I don't know if I told you this or not, but we have 3 parakeets. Yes, we have Bonnie and Clyde, and we have, of course, our Abby that we've had since 2019. And we had them in separate cages, but, oh, and, but we, yeah. Yeah, we had them in separate cages. I do remember now telling you this. But we decided to put Abby in with the 2 other birds. So they kind of get on each other's nerves once in a while, I think. But that's just common, you know, I think. But because they are gregarious, I think they'll do okay. So I'm going to kind of give this a little bit of a, kind of checking the time here. I'm going to dry this a little bit and see how this goes. I may have to let this dry overnight. It's going to take a while, I think, for it to dry. Oh, wow, I really like how that, you see how those particular spots did? I really like how they did that. I won't bore you with this drying part, so I'm going to pause you again. I'll come right back. Alright, I'm back, and I did kind of dry this just a little bit. It's still really saturated and very, very damp, as you can see. Oh, that side's kind of interesting, too. But it's this side here that I want to focus on. So what I want to do is I want a little bit of dark on here, but not a lot of dark. Not the black soot. I don't want that. So I'm gonna, this is called Chipped Sapphire, and this is a distressed oxide spray. So if you're familiar with Tim Holtz products, he does a lot of real neat, interesting things. So I'm just gonna splatter this here and there. Oh wow. Because this is still pretty damp, it's gonna have a thing where it kind of spreads here and there. Oh, the other day when my husband and I were out doing our errands and everything, and he had physical therapy yesterday, we went down the road and we found out that our, what's it called? The office, the Office Depot place is closing. And we thought, oh, brother, another one that's closing its doors around here. If you think about it, you know, there are so many people that order their supplies online, you know, well, and like myself. But, you know, anytime we bought our computers, we usually bought them from there, except for a few exceptions. But anyway, yeah, it's kind of sad to see them leave. And we didn't go to them that often. We would buy our paper there occasionally, you know, and everything. But now I'm just kind of in love with the fact that I can go to a flea market here in town, and they usually have scrapbooking supplies at the ready. So you just never know what you're going to find there. And, of course, they don't really, in office supply stores, they don't really carry a whole lot of, if anything, having to do with, you know, scrapbook supplies. I mean, you can find photo paper and things like that there, but we also found our photo paper at places like flea markets and also, what do you call it? I'm trying to think. What other places? Oh, at, why can't I think of that place? I'll think of it later. I'll wake up at 2 o'clock this morning. I'll go, oh yeah, that place. Oh, why can't I think of it? Oh, it's not coming to me. Sorry, I can't remember. It's the way my brain is going today, I think. So I kind of wanted this color too. This is the candied apple red, so. This is sort of interesting, isn't it? Yep, it is. Still can't think of it. Trying to think of it, but I can't think of it. Oh, what is it called? I want to say Salvation Army, but then it came to me, Goodwill. There you go. And I really have not been to a Goodwill store in a while, so, because we've just been going to our favorite places, which are usually flea markets. Well, anyway, there we go. There's that. Now I want to do some sage, I think. But again, some of these sprays don't really spray too well. They just kind of irritate me more than anything. They tend to, what do you call it, just sort of get cloggy, and then they don't spray out very well. They tend to leak around the sprayer's edge, you know, and it just doesn't make for a very good time, you know? It just doesn't. Now you're probably pretty curious as to what I'm going to be doing with these. Well, I got something in my mind, so don't you worry. Sometimes I just gotta de-stress. I don't do well when my husband has to have medical stuff done. And I didn't do well when I had to have my gallbladder out. So I know one thing, if they did prescribe, which they probably did prescribe painkillers for me, I never did take them because I didn't know if I was going to have a reaction to them. And, you know, like they'll say the side effects are maybe cause dizziness. Well, I don't have to be on anything to cause dizziness with me. I have pinched nerves, and so I can get dizzy while I'm driving and everything like that. It's just been something I've lived with for so many years. So, of course, I was a little bit intimidated to even use any painkillers when I had my surgery. And so what did I do? I just took Tylenol. But then I also had a reaction to the soap that they use on you to make sure to clean away any kind of bacteria. So I had a horrible reaction to that, and what it did was it made me feel like I had a really bad, like a poison oak or poison ivy, and mixed in with a sunburn. That's exactly how it felt. So they had let some stuff stay, and it got, it was in a position where that really hurt. And of course it was very itchy. And so what happened was there was just really hardly anything I could use on it. I did put some calamine on it, and that helped. But it was so itchy, and it felt like a second-degree burn. So I just don't do well with whatever kind of stuff they use to, supposedly it's supposed to, you know, get rid of the bacteria, but in the meantime, it's given me like a really bad sunburn feeling, so I just can't use it. My husband, of course, doesn't have any problem with anything like that, but I do, so. Oh, I think that's a lot of speckles, isn't it? That's just Speckle City, right? But, I mean, it's really kind of a neat effect, though, isn't it? I just really love it. I would never have thought to even do anything like this. Now I kind of want to add some of this stuff. This is going to be like a gloss spray, but I don't want to do a spray. So I just want to take this again, and because maybe it's good that it's all messed up in there, you know? I'm just going to dab it here and there. But again, if you didn't want to hear about the medical stuff, sorry about that. It's just something that I won't mention it that often. But I do thank you for any regular viewers. If you know who you are, and if you've kind of wondered when I was going to upload another video, well, wait no longer. I mean, I'm here, so I'll try to make as many and update them as often as I possibly can. I just can't make any promises. That's the thing. Yeah, because I get busy and I work too, so I really have to settle my mind down and just get to working on something, you know. That's just what I have to do. There, I think that's enough white. And of course, when that dries, it'll be kind of glossy. And then I have this one, which is the turquoise. So I'm going to go ahead and see if I were to spray that, see how it kind of collects in the cap. It just is kind of a mess. It's just a bit of a mess. So I'm glad there's more than one way that I can use this. I could probably actually transfer this into a different spray bottle and get the same effect. But for right now, I'm just going to use it like this. And actually, I think that's all I'm going to do is that. Alrighty, well, yeah, see, this is already give you kind of more of a up close kind of thing. I didn't really do the edges. I'm not really worried about doing the edges too much. I just thought that looked really cool. Now I'm going to kind of let it kind of roll, do whatever it needs to do, kind of drip down. Kind of, maybe I can kind of do a thing, let it drip a little bit. Well, that definitely is spotty, that's for sure. I'm just going to take my very wet thing here, and I'm just going to dab this just a little bit. And this is just very wet paper as well, so. Well, see, now we know what different kinds of paper will do. There we go. This is very colorful too. So anyway, I'm going to go ahead and dry on this a little bit, and I'll get back with you here in a moment. Wow, what time is it? Ooh, okay. Well, I'm back again. I really haven't added anything to this. I've been just trying to get it to dry, which I think it's going to be an overnight process with this. But anyway, when it starts to dry, I'm going to start working on it. And it's still kind of a little bit, not too tacky to the touch, but it's not bad. It shouldn't take too long to do anything like this. But anyway, I just wanted to give it a try. And I'm glad that you've joined me with this process then. And let me see what the other one looks like. I'll get it for you. It's still in the process of drying as well. But I'll bring it over anyway just to show you. And then you can kind of see what the two different papers did. So here's this one. and this one. But thank you for joining me today, and I'm glad that you're still here and still watching my videos. And like I said, I will do my best to try to get more videos up. So thank you so much, and thank you again for being here. I'll catch you later. Bye. Oh, don't forget to like and subscribe if you like this video. Thanks. Bye-bye.